about the greatest threat to the environment. So I'm just going to ask you guys a simple question. What do you guys think is the greatest threat to the environment?
The Arctic tundra melting and releasing these chemical gases into our atmosphere that will
And
cause.
thus producing global warming, right?
Right.
So global warming is no longer a myth, right? But I'm here to argue that even though global warming is no longer a myth, the principal cause of global warming remains a myth. We often hear that people suggest riding your bicycle, commuting with carpooling to places, recycling, showering instead of 5 minutes, taking a 2-minute shower, stuff like that, you know. But the truth is that the greatest cause of global warming isn't burning fossil fuel. It's actually the animal agriculture industry. In order to convince you guys of this, I'm gonna provide you basically just two points that contribute to this to the global warming effect all around the world, and it is by generating greenhouse gases and by massive deforestation. So I'm just gonna give you guys a couple of facts. Cows produce nearly 150 billion gallons of methane per day. Methane has a global warming potential 86 times that of CO2 on a 20-year time frame, which means that methane is, even though it's produced naturally throughout the world by animals and other plants, it causes more harm to the environment than CO2, right? Because we think that CO2 is like the number one cause of global warming. What else? According to a United Nations report, livestock and their byproducts account for at least 32 million tons of carbon dioxide per year, or 51% of all worldwide greenhouse gas emissions. When you compare 51% of all the greenhouse gas emissions to 13% of the transportation industry, it's a big difference. And for society or the people that run the world economy, or politicians, to tell you that just by reducing our fossil fuel combustion, we're gonna save the environment. It's a lie, and to me it is outrageous. What else? Oh yeah. Even without fossil fuels, we will exceed our 565 gigatons of CO2 emissions limit by 2030, all from just raising animals. So even though if we switch to let's say sustainable forms of energy like wind or solar entirely, if we get rid of like burning fossil fuel completely, if we use electric cars, other forms of energy, we will still reach that limit that the United Nations set. What else? And my second point is that the amount of deforestation caused by the animal farming industry has a substantial negative impact on the environment. We all know that trees are like the number one source for getting CO2 and transforming it into oxygen, and thus contributing to the balance of like how much CO2 we produce and how much oxygen they produce, right? So the livestock covers 45% of the Earth's total land. The leading causes of rainforest destruction are livestock and feed crops. 1/3 of the planet is desertified due to livestock, and 136 million rainforest acres are cleared for animal agriculture on a yearly basis. This not only affects the amount of plants and trees that we have, cleaning our our ecosystem, it kills other species. We've seen one of the largest mass extinctions of species in 65 million years. So like the last time this amount of species were extinct were like when the dinosaurs. So like we're almost as bad as the meteor that got rid of the dinosaurs. Yeah, so my goal today was not to convince you to stop eating meat or become vegan or anything. My goal was just to open your eyes and make you guys realize that yes, we're doing better by not burning more fossil fuel, but eating meat or the meat industry, eating fish is a greater contributor to the effects of global warming. Thank you.
All right, Luis, you have a pretty straightforward claim on the proposition. I think that was fine. The secondary claims, when you present them, they're not really phrased as claims, so I think that's a little bit problematic. When you get to the body of the speech, there's no citation of that first supporting claim. You kind of dive right into some factual data about the cow farts and methane and stuff like that that's going on. You didn't use that term, I use that term, but that's basically what we're talking about, that's going on there. And I think you need to remind us about what the claim is there, that all of these greenhouse gases come from a variety of sources, and agriculture in particular, from the production of animals for food, accounts for a huge percentage of this, and here's some examples that you've got. I think that it's not that hard a transition to make, and it would be a little bit smoother. You just kind of dive into the information, and I think that that's problematic. You are much clearer, though, when you move to the second point on deforestation in the body of the speech, so I thought that that was pretty good. Although you're less clear in citing your sources on the deforestation issue than you were on the other issue. I got this information about a third of the plan being devoted to these resources, the amount of acreage that's going on, species that are being extinct, and I didn't really get any source citations on that information, so I think that's a little bit problematic. You did a better job in the first half of the speech talking about that other information, and you do a pretty nice job presenting to the audience, so that's solid. All right, thank you. Kind of rushing a little bit because we have at least one more speaker that I want to get in tonight. Paulina?